Welcome, welcome, everybody. Hopefully, I have some friends here today. Hi. If you are familiar with the StreamYard, you can make comments or feel free to make comments on whatever platform you're listening to this broadcast because we are on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, 3 different Facebooks. And I want to broadcast this topic as in many places as possible. Every Tuesday, I want to broadcast the topics I talk about because I'm going to continue talking about them forever because I am so passionate about helping people get harmful and toxic chemicals out of your lives. And I always say if I helped one person, I've helped, or if I've helped one person, I've helped enough because I want to help thousands of people. And I have helped many friends and family and others realize you can't make changes to everything you do in your life because you walk out the door, you're going to be breathing in chemicals. But in your house, you can have alternatives and you can make changes. So that is what we are talking about here today. And but we're talking specifically about a chemical that I talk about a lot. And it's not just one chemical, it's a whole family of chemicals. And it's in the news quite a bit. If you're subscribed to my podcast, Green Living with Tea, please do so and leave us a review. I would love it because that's how that's our tips when you leave a review. But so on Monday, I did an interview with a woman by the name of Lorraine Hackett, who is an advocate for getting these toxic chemicals out of our environment, out of our waterways. Unfortunately, her family, her daughter, and grandkids have all been affected by these chemicals in a small town called Hoosick Falls, which is just east of Albany. I happened to be driving through it about 10 days ago on my way to visit my sister. It's near the Vermont border, absolutely spectacular little area of our country. But the manufacturing plants were putting these chemicals in the waterway and they were drinking them. And nobody knew until one of their parents died of cancer and liver cancer or kidney cancer. So anyways, if you get a chance, listen to my podcast. Again, just Google Green Living with Tea. It comes out every Monday. And yesterday, we happen to be talking about PFAS. And in the news, if you didn't see it, Biden plans new rules for toxic forever chemicals. You probably can't see that. Oh, yes, you can. See it? Those arrows my husband cut out and gave to me. But this is good news. We like to give you good news because finally the government is starting to pay attention to some of these chemicals that are really causing a lot of health issues in our communities, and they need to start regulating some of these. The chemical industries are so powerful, so much money is behind them, and they're lobbying all the time. And I'm sure they're going to be lobbying against this somehow, some way. So we want to talk about these forever chemicals. And I try to keep this to 10, 15 minutes. So if you can hang with me for that long, I'd love it because, and make a comment. Let me know if you're here. Somebody did comment 3 green hearts. So thank you. It says a Facebook user, but everybody knows how I love green hearts. So feel free to even put a green heart on there if you appreciate what I'm reporting on today. And if you have any questions, put them in there. I will go back to all the platforms and look at them and see if anybody has any concerns. But there are some things you can do and some changes you can make in your purchases to avoid these horrific chemicals. And that specifically this whole umbrella of chemicals that are known to cause cancer and other illnesses, and you can avoid them. So they are also called the forever chemical. They don't naturally degrade, unfortunately. This is a huge issue. How are we going to get them out of our water? That is not for me to figure out, but for me to figure out is to educate and let people know what I know, what I've studied, and all these different webinars and different training that I've gone through to learn about these chemicals and let you know about them. They accumulate in our body. They accumulate in the soil. They're in all of our bodies, unfortunately. They're in our water. They're in our drinking water. I'm in Buffalo, New York. There was a report done by our WGRZ NBC affiliate recently. They are in our fish, and they are turning up everywhere because these not only the manufacturers are polluting our waters, but they're in so many different products that they're ending up in the environment and in the water system. So they're a huge potential risk to consumers and to the environment. The CDC has been very active with getting these chemicals regulated because they had recently reported that they have known to cause serious kidney illness or diseases to the kidney, the liver, the immune system. They cause developmental and reproductive issues. So as you can see, there's like a laundry list of things that these chemicals are doing to our health. And then most importantly, the CDC has reported that these PFAS affect the antibody response to vaccines, such as those for COVID. Yes. So these PFAS chemicals can affect how a vaccination is working on you. And I actually sat in on a conference recently, and scientists got on there and said they tested all these people that had the vaccination, but they also tested the levels of the chemicals in their system. And basically they had no antibodies in their system. So somehow these PFAS chemicals are affecting the antibodies. You know, people question, why did they get COVID? Well, this could be one reason, because some of these chemicals could be interfering with the vaccination. So what are these chemicals? They make things waterproof. They make things sweatproof. They make cosmetic long wearing. I know I have friends that it's going to be next to impossible to give up your waterproof mascara or certain foundations, makeup. It's in makeup, it's in lotion, it's in cookware. But if you make some small changes, you're making a step in the right direction. And I want to just make you aware of these things, that there are alternatives out there. So the biggest area that these chemicals were basically created for was Teflon pans. We all know Teflon pans. It's the nonstick cookware. Another item that is people are going to have a hard time giving up their Teflon pans, especially if they have any scratches in them. Again, look at your pans. I've been in houses before where I can't say anything because I feel like people think I'm, always attacking them about getting chemicals out. But Teflon pans are, in my personal opinion, one of the top culprits of illnesses caused by these chemicals. And the nonstick, so many people don't know you can only use wood on Teflon pans. You can't use metal because it'll scratch. So throw them out. Don't even give them away. You got to throw them out. They're horrible. They leach all these chemicals into your food. You are basically eating chemicals in your food. So that's the nonstick cookware. Be careful. I did do some research, and a good friend of mine, Deb Flynn, helped educate me on the green pan, which is ceramic, and they do not have these chemicals in them. So if you really want a nonstick cookware, that's one pan that I know is safe to use. We only use stainless steel. Well, actually, I have a green pan, but we're big cast iron lovers. So the other areas: waterproof clothing, carpeting, fast food containers. I know. Dental floss. Who would have thought? I actually just found this out a couple months ago. Switched to a PFAS-free dental floss. pizza boxes, lipstick, mascara, as I mentioned, nail polish, cleaning products that you're spraying in your house. And hopefully you'll see in my right-hand corner here are my cleaning products that will be on the market very soon, and no PFAS chemicals in them, no chemicals whatsoever. So healthy for you and your home is our slogan at Tees Organics, but we'll talk about that another time. So they're added to make lotions, cosmetics, and hair products more water resistant and durable and spreadable. So that's these chemicals that are being added, and they're linked to cancer. They have known to have a link to cancer, high cholesterol, birth defects, suppression of vaccines, as I mentioned, and many other serious illnesses. So while these chemicals are being phased out, which they're trying to phase them out, it's going to take a long time, they still remain in our water supplies, in our soil, in our food, and in our air. So scientists have done a lot of research on this, and they finally, as I said, the government is paying attention because they have reported that they are toxic and persistent in the environment. And it's going to be a huge process to get these out of our products, air, water. I don't know what's going to happen, but what we can do, let them do their job, but what we can do is find other products because these chemicals are indestructible. And yes, these companies are making gazillions of these chemicals while we all suffer. So anyway, so I want to talk about what I can tell you how you can avoid some of these. As I mentioned, ditch any Teflon cookware, even if I don't like Teflon, period. Okay. That's just my personal preference. I know that there's these chemicals in them. I don't want to cook with them. And when they're heated at a really high temperature, they also can give off fumes. So you could be eating them, you could be breathing them. And there's also been reports that if you are breathing in these fumes that are coming out of your cookware, they can also cause flu-like symptoms. So be aware of that. There have been reports in the past that from this cookware that it's actually killed pet birds. So again, be really careful of scratches on your Teflon pans. Again, stainless steel, the old-fashioned stainless steel, cast iron. I love our Lodge cast irons. And all these are on, I have an Amazon store, Green Living Guru's Amazon store. I'll put the link in here. We earn a very small commission, very small. But I like to put products in there that we know are safe for our environment and for our health. So you can check out all of our products. So popcorn. Believe it or not. So popcorn bags, microwave popcorn, those bags are coated with these chemicals. So, right, the grease doesn't come out of the bag. Even some organic ones use these chemicals in them, in the bag. I mean, the popcorn might be organic, but lo and behold, the bag has all these chemicals in the inside. So the oil or butter or whatever doesn't leach out. And when you open up that popcorn bag, that hot air that comes out, you're breathing in chemicals. It's coming into your house. So actually, I'm gonna do an indoor air quality test. I have these monitors. I'm gonna make some of that popcorn. Well, we'll see. I want to see what type of chemicals are registered. So buy popcorn the old-fashioned way. Put it on your stove and heat it up with some oil. It's delicious. It's my favorite way to do popcorn. So. Here's a big one, to-go containers. So we've started bringing our own to-go containers, takeout containers. You go out to dinner. Those styrofoam boxes are loaded with these chemicals. So you're putting hot food in the styrofoam to take home. If that's the only thing you can do and you don't want to bring glass with you, but I highly recommend that you do, get them out of the styrofoam right away. Anytime. Do not store food in those. They have these PFAS chemicals in them. So also when you go for fast food, hamburgers, all those wrappings, chemicals, French fries, containers. So the French fries don't leach oil out into your hands. Pizza boxes. I know recently New York State just passed a law that they have to find something else to use in pizza boxes so the grease doesn't go through the box, but that layer, whether it's on the box or that piece of paper that seems like it's like wax paper, has these chemicals in them. So anyway, so that's something to consider. Dental floss. So I love dental floss, but here nor there. But recently, as I mentioned earlier, that I didn't even think a dental floss has these PFAS chemicals, and we found something at our local Lexington Co-op, great dental floss that does not have PFAS in it. So there's products out there. You just have to do a little searching, or again, go on our store, on the Amazon store. We have or go to our website, better yet, go to thegreenlivinggurus.com. Again, thegreenlivinggurus.com. Look at our shop button, and all the categories of all the different things that we recommend are on there, from makeup to men's products to kids stuff to snacks. So, but we try our best to find all these products that are least likely to give you any kind of health issue. So dental floss, some of the ones that have these chemicals in them, Oral-B 40s, Oral-B Glide, which I used to use all the time, Crest, their dental floss. Safeway has one that they also have them in, Colgate. So just look for the PFAS free, or again, the dental floss that we recommend is, in our store. And then carpeting. Carpeting is so often treated with stain resistant, which is horrible. And those chemicals not only are in your carpeting, but you are breathing them in. They're getting in your dust. They're getting into your vents. So ask for untreated carpeting or PFAS-free alternatives. So I haven't bought carpeting in a long time, so I don't know all about that, but I do know that that's one thing you want to think about. Same thing with stain-resistant clothing. They prevent stains. So Scotchgard is one that we all know about. Gore-Tex, I think, is another. They spray them with these PFAS, and it's not worth the risk of your health to using them. So not only clothing, but furniture is sprayed with stain resistant, fire resistant. Doesn't have to be. So read the labels of everything that you have. Start looking at your labels. That's what I always tell everybody. Read your labels and start knowing your ingredients. And the products, look at your cosmetics, look at your cleaning supplies, look at your household items, look at your personal care products. Look for the letters PTFE. Again, P as in Paul, T Thomas, F-E, Frank Edward, PTFE. Or one word that you really want to pay attention to is perfluor, PERFLUOR, perfluor. If it starts with that, you know that there's these chemicals in them. So those are some of the areas that you can pay attention to and make changes. So, and one last item that I just want to mention are firefighters. Our firefighters are being exposed to these chemicals all the time because it's in the firefighter spray. And it's also being used on Air Force bases. So there's a huge issue with firefighters getting cancer and also people that live on Air Force bases. And I've interviewed a family that lived on an old Air Force base, and they have severe health issues because they use so much of these chemicals, and it's all in their water. So they're drinking their water, and who would know, right? So on that note, too, with water, I highly suggest that you start thinking about filtering your water as best you possibly can, because water is really polluted with these chemicals and so many others. And you can find out what chemicals are in your water by going to the Environmental Working Group. Just Google Environmental Working Group water, and you just have to plug in your zip code and it will show you the amount of chemicals in there. So I'm a huge proponent of filtration systems, reverse osmosis. And if anybody has any questions regarding those, let me know. I work with a company that is very knowledgeable and installs them. So anyway, so I hope that some of this was informative. Make one change today. Look at your dental floss. Look at your lipstick. Look at your mascara. Look at some of your other products that you are using, because if you can start making small changes, that is a good baby step in the right direction. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please. Oh, I got a lot of green hearts here. I love you guys. Thank you so much. They make me so happy. Somebody said, I can't wait, T. It's KKC. Okay, I have to figure out who that is. I think I know who that is, but maybe not. Oh, Karen Kennedy Colley. Hi, Karen. I just figured it out. So one little step at a time, and we will be also launching T's Organics right there. If you want to see my cute little label here, because I haven't really, I've been mentioning this a little bit, but we're just waiting to launch. Oh, you can't see it too well. Bright lights. All right, well, it says T's Organics on it, and it's essential oils, water, and vinegar. And I don't hide any ingredients from you. I tell you exactly what's in here. And the people that have bought it so far, I love it, have told me that they can't wait to buy more and they can't live without it. So for all of you that use it, thank you for me being my test market, but it will be on the market very soon, and they're working on getting that on our website. And I hope, and maybe it'll be on Amazon someday. That's my goal. So I hope everybody gets, and I'm trying to get it in some markets as well. So if anybody has any ideas, and I'm open to putting it on the shelves and getting it in everybody's hands so you can start getting toxic chemicals out of your home. Everybody have a great evening. Bye-bye.